What is something that you're aware of that someone thinks you don't know?
Experience 1. My coworker was fired for inappropriate sexting/photos with our vulnerable persons clientele. They made him sign an NDA and gave him severance to keep it hush-hush. He thinks no one knows. We all know, man. We all know. Experience 2. I am half deaf and I make sure nearly everyone around me knows this, so nobody thinks I'm ignoring them when I'm just not hearing them. The thing about that is that a lot of people think I am a lot more deaf than I actually am. So, people often talk about me when I'm nearby and assume I'm not hearing it, and by staying quiet and letting them think that I now know what nearly everyone I know thinks about me. It's helped me figure out who my real friends are quite a few times. Experience 3. This has applied to numerous friends in the past, unfortunately, but I have a friend right now with a bad drug problem, and he thinks he's fooling everyone. We'll tell everyone he's too sick to talk or text during the day, but we'll call/text at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to say he's partying and wants to know if anyone wants to join. Not slick at all, bro. Experience 4. The owner of the store I work at had an affair with the HR manager while he was alive. After he died, his wife took over the store and hired the husband of the HR manager to run the store and had an affair with him. Experience 5. About 12 years ago, I found what I'm pretty sure was the first draft of a self-deletion note written to me by my mother. She didn't end up going through with it and is still alive today. I still have all 3 pages, and I'll probably never get rid of them because despite it being unreasonably depressing to think about, the only time she's ever told me how proud she was of me, how strong or smart she believed I was, or that I gave her life meaning was in this note she doesn't know I have. Experience 6. My brother's wife is apparently cheating on him, but the eldest brother is the one who found out and told me, so he is the one who will bring it to the forefront. He just isn't sure if he is telling her or him. Sucks for everyone involved. And I dread knowing our brother is going to be so heartbroken. This is his wife of 30 years. Experience 7. While I was in middle school, our apartment was robbed sometime between my mom leaving for work and me coming home for lunch. About 6 months ago, I found out the people who robbed us were my best friend's brother and aunt. My best friend's ex-wife told me this. In hindsight, everything that happened leading up to that day should have made it obvious. Funny enough, I hadn't seen this person in 10 years, and when my health started declining, I reached out to him to make amends while I could. This was about a year before I found out. Experience 8. My dad used to drink a lot more than he would admit to. He would try and pretend that he would just have a glass of wine at the end of the day. But my brother and I would find bottles of vodka hidden in the bushes, in his filing cabinet, in the back seat of his truck. Never called him out on it, because he could never call us out on stealing his vodka when it wasn't his LOL. One night he woke me and my brother up at 3 a.m. to listen to a podcast he was listening to about lizard people and thought it was like Japan attacking Pearl Harbor. He was obviously drunk. Haha, I think he quit, but I haven't been over there to see for myself in some time. Experience 10. My French-speaking colleagues don't know I always understand what they're saying because I learned as a child mostly from books and my French as second language mother, so my accent is terrible and embarrassing, so I avoid infringing on their French language mini club, though I can read and listen and comprehend just fine. Experience 11. Pretty sure the landlord put a camera in the attic space while making a big show of not getting another camera to work. The system uses multiple cameras, and they may not know that I know that. We have a raccoon problem and the landlord fixed it, but there is still a problem. I think they think I am going up there making noise since they cannot catch any raccoons or find where they are getting in. The other tenants are complaining about the noise. The only access to the attic is in my apartment. I do not go up there anyway, because it is unsafe and I have balance issues due to health problems, but still, it annoys me that they may have tried to fool me by making a big show of not being able to get a wireless camera to work. Experience 12. When I got a birthday milestone, my wife arranged 2 surprise birthdays for me, one with family where we live and one with family and friends in my hometown. It was great. It was also so obvious each time because she was excited and acting weird leading up to the surprise. I played along and she's convinced she got me both times. I don't think I'll ever tell her. Experience 13. I know one of our friends lost his license for a while due to a drunk driving incident. It wasn't even his first one. Doesn't change my view of him though. He is still a piece of shit, and the only reason we tolerate his existence is because of his wife and her family. He actually used to be a fairly good guy, till he started stealing from us thinking we wouldn't notice. Hard not to notice our barbecue sitting on his deck. Experience 14. My parents split up when I was 3 years old in 1999. Also in 1999, the Disney film Tarzan was released along with Phil Collins' song You'll Be in My Heart. When my parents split and I became an anxiety-ridden emotional mess, they both individually told me that You'll Be in My Heart was my special song with that parent and that if I got scared, I should just play that song. Their divorce got really nasty, and the fights/dysfunction would be unbearable at points. But they both individually would still, and even today, say that song was my special song with each of them. I've thought about saying something before, but it feels like my own special connection with my family, broken though it may be. Experience 15. I had a relative who was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and they ended up getting a huge payout from it before kicking the proverbial bucket. During the last few months they had left, they spent a few grand and gifted me a 4-wheeler. We were sitting around making inappropriate jokes one day about what their final hours would be like while flipping through an Auto Trader magazine. I saw an advertisement for a 4-wheeler and said it looked nice, and then we immediately went and bought it because you apparently can't take money with you into the hereafter. The whole thing was just a surreal spur-of-the-moment screw-it decision. The 4-wheeler ended up getting stolen about a year later, and no one could figure out who stole it. I didn't learn who the thief was until about 20 years later. My cousin's grandma confessed that a family friend stole it because he wanted to get even with me for making fun of his girlfriend. I don't even know what the hell I said about the dude's girlfriend because I was 12 years old at the time the 4-wheeler was stolen, and he was 36. 12-year-old me was not good at making fun of anyone or anything. Now, whenever I see this family friend out and about, I always make sure to ask him if he's come across any decent 4-wheelers lately. He's about 5 tall, weighs maybe 140 pounds soaking wet, and is built like a freaking parking meter. One of my biceps has a larger circumference than his entire waist. I don't even care about the 4-wheeler anymore. I just enjoy watching him go into a full-on panic attack every time I ask him about 4-wheelers. He's not a good person and never has been, so at this point, I have no remorse about any of this. He thinks I might know that he stole it, but he's also a druggie and thinks I might not actually know that he stole it. It's that little sliver of crackhead hope that makes me laugh the hardest. Experience 16. We have software at work we use to record who did what jobs and when. It's important for legal reasons, but is horrible to use. My immediate boss introduced us to something new. An Excel sheet to record our work on, and then some data entry person would do all the horrible stuff converting that to the proper system. I pointed out that it was illegal. Anybody can fill in the spreadsheet with anybody's name. There was no digital signature, and if legal problems came, there was no way you could tie any person to any job. It developed into a huge argument. I was threatened with HR. In the end, I reluctantly agreed to use the spreadsheet. And not once did I, or anyone else, use that spreadsheet. My boss said it was because everyone just wanted to be lazy, but I know that senior management went apeshit when they heard about it, gave my boss a serious telling off, and that everyone had to use the proper software. Screw you, Bob. Experience 17. That my friend's brother used to SA her when they were young. One night she got super drunk at a party I was throwing, so I walked her to my room to lay her down. She literally blurted it out as she was falling asleep. I could not believe she just said it. This was around 14 years ago, and she has never brought it up since. We are best friends, and I find myself thinking about that night every so often. Experience 18. My ex thinks I don't know she started dating someone. We were talking about getting back together until she just ghosted me for someone she met in a chat app 3 weeks ago. He's 19. She's 26. He lives on the other side of the world. She has shit-talked about huge age gaps in dating before. Bullet dodged, I guess. Etta, she had told me about this kid a couple of days before she stopped talking to me. She was making fun of her 25-year-old roommate for being interested in the same 19 years old. Experience 19. My daughter doesn't think I know she's not straight. She accidentally let me know when she was telling me about a guy at school who was giving her and her friend. She very carefully avoided names and pronouns for the friend, which was a dead giveaway out the gate, about having crushes on each other. She made plans with the friend to see the school counselor about it. Then, later she told me that she and female friend spoke to the counselor and all was well. I don't know if she just didn't realize she let the name slip or what. She also knows I check her messaging and email, and she talks openly with her friends about it and about being unsure of how her parents/grandparents would respond. I've told her, not subtly at all, that I don't care if she likes boys or girls, does X or Y, etc., that I'm proud of her because she's a good person with a big heart. And she still thinks I don't know? Experience 20. My girlfriend doesn't know that I found out why her ex dumped her. She lied to him and all of their friends and said she was being treated for stomach cancer for the whole time she knew them, just over a year. She keeps lying to me about shit too. I only found all this out after we'd had a child together, and I know she and her family are the type that will do or say anything to make sure I can't get any custody, so I'm biding my time and getting proof of shit before I leave. I've been sleeping on the sofa for the last couple of years whilst trying to sort shit out so that I can get to see my kid after I leave, and so that she can't try and make up some evil shit about me to tell the courts, or our kid, or anyone else for that matter. She was the love of my life. I really mean that. I would have done anything for her. I've been with her for more than 10 years. Known her for more than 20. Can't believe she's done this shit. There's so much more, but I don't know what's real and what's not. She's even said she was R-worded, but she told her friends that it was by someone different to the guy she said it was to me, so I'm pretty sure that's bullshit too. I realized a long time ago that I don't know her at all, because I can't know what's real and what isn't. I just know that it's a really freaking dangerous place to be stuck in if she ever finds out that I know.
We hope you enjoyed listening to today's stories. If you want to see more stories, check out these videos or check the links in the description for more videos. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And ring that notification bell.